basically my career has just been kind of a ho-hum career. I've played a lot. It's a natural God-given talent. I have had the opportunity to work with some people in the industry, not for a very long period of time, but I've had contact with them. First and foremost, and probably one of the best days of my life, was the day I got to sit in Kenny Pasquarelli's front room, and we were making a video. I'm not sure, but Kenny was like the very first forerunner of the Master Series, and that's what we were doing. We were doing a video about being a bass player and accompaniment and stuff like that there. His house was on the Denver Country Club, number 13. I'm standing on Italian marble floors. 27 gold and platinum records on the walls, leaning up against the walls. It was a very, very great day, because when he was doing the video, I actually got to play with him. And we recorded a song, a verse of a song that I wrote. It's called Children of the Future, and it was on his video, and it went to his agency and other people and stuff like that. Had some pretty good reviews from it. So that was really pretty good. Kenny Pasquarelli, he initially started with Joe Walsh and the Barnstormers, and he co-wrote Rocky Mountain Way. And he told us the story that Rocky Mountain Way was written, him and Joe Walsh were up in the canyon, Clear Creek Canyon, up on Highway 6, up there with their guitars, and that's where they went and wrote the song. He later went on to be a bass player for Elton John, Stephen Stills, Hall & Oates, legendary man. He told us a couple of stories about Elton John that would just, you really kind of have to laugh, because this is behind the scenes type stuff, and I don't have time to do that there, but anyway. Another great player that I played with, probably one of the greatest guitar players, in my opinion, that I have ever played with. And this guy's name was Randy Walters. We called him the Wild Man, and he was a wild man. Him and another friend of mine named Len Esser formed several bands in the Denver area. Metropolis, Crank Call Love Affair. Randy went on to form a band in Denver called Mau Mau 55, and I believe they're the only Denver band to sell out the Rainbow Music Hall twice, which was about 1,500 seats. But for a local band back then, that's pretty big, and when you're especially doing heavy metal punk. It was actually pretty good. Randy was a really, really good guitar player. He went on to Los Angeles, and him and a guy by the name of Mike Savage again fronted a band called Pygmy Love Circus, and they went around the world, not as an A band, but as a B or C band, and where they were sleeping in the van, sleeping with their equipment, sleeping on people's couches, coming home broke with no money and stuff like that. Another great player, I only did one gig with this guy, was Ted Mentry. I believe he was associated with Supertramp. He's still playing. He's in California now. Very, very good guitar player. At the same time I was playing, we were a backup band for a couple of hip-hop, pop, smooth singers called Big and Unique. And in that band I got to, I was invited to join the band because I was working for this guy Chuck Slocum III, and driving trucks for him. Now Chuck is a phenomenal human being, just all the way around, but the list of people that he knows and has played with is probably as long as my arm. He played with Les Paul. He played with the Willie Nelson band. George Strait, Noel Redding. Played the White House twice. USO tours. Actually got to sit in the tour home one night with him and Steve Miller and Kenny Pasquarelli and listen to the story that these guys told, because we were interviewing Steve Miller. Phenomenal drummer, just awesome. Music producer, all around, knows what he's talking about. Another player I got to play with in that same band was a guy by the name of Eddie Guion, and he was a tour keyboard player for people like Aretha Franklin and other people. So these guys are professionals, and I really fit in really well with them and was able to keep up to the caliber of playing that they wanted, which was, on my behalf, was pretty. I was pretty amazed that I was able to do it. We had a lot of fun, and the thing about it is we'd get together the night before the gig and go over the songs and then go play the next gig and the next night, and people thought that we'd been practicing like 2 or 3 nights a week for, X many amount of months, which, musicians do, I mean, the amount of practice that goes into being a musician is daunting sometimes, the dedication and stuff. But I had found out, and this guy Randy Walters told me this too, and Lanester, have 2 or 3 practices, learn a few songs, go out and play. And that's what we did with this, when we were in this backup band. We were called the Midwest Family. That was the name I came up with. And it took pretty good. We had a pretty good guitar player by the name of Rick Liggs. He, Denver area, and another keyboard player. He was a rocket scientist. Literally, he programs little scan programs. He makes them. He just does all sorts of stuff. He worked on the SR-71, Cheyenne Mountain, and Missile Command when he was in the service and stuff. So, this group of people very special to me, and I know a lot of other musicians have a lot bigger, better careers, I guess you might say. Mine's just been mediocre. I've been in a lot of really bad bands, made a lot of bad choices, staying with my friends, staying in my comfort zone instead of stepping out and realizing many, many years later that you were much better than you gave yourself credit for. I feel honored to have played with each and every one of these musicians. Not many people can say that. Not many people can say that they got to sit in Kenny Pasquarelli's front room and chat with him, and might just be on his video. I feel very honored about that.